we're speculating. Is the Counter-Strike community better, do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Because that's an old game that's still,
It
what,
is.
top
It's
3
an
on
old
Steam or
game.
something?
It's massive. I mean, there's a whole other thing about Counter Strike that, yeah, they're a very popular game, but the way the numbers show is not. I don't think it's very accurate
What do
personally
you
because
mean?
it's a lot. I don't know about if you know Counter Strike. There's drops, there's
Mm-hmm.
cases, and you open cases to get the
Mm-hmm.
knives, and the knives are worth thousands of dollars. Well, there's a lot of the players that are saying, or that Counter Strike says they're playing is in the millions, but it's been proven there's a lot of bots farming the cases to try to sell the cases because they're all worth money. So the actual player base of Counter Strike and that number that shows on Steam is not accurate, in my opinion. But
That's insane. Have you heard about what the... And I did a story on this about what Call of Duty was allegedly, of course, Your Honor, caught doing with their PC players. Have you heard about how they've been
uh,
using their... What is it? Basically, their free computing power. When they're
yeah,
offline,
really,
running simulations using people's computing power when they're
graphics
not
card
on.
for crypto.
Four, because what they're doing is, basically matchmaking schemes where they'll purposely put somebody up against another person with better weapons to encourage them to buy those or encourage them to keep playing. So they're running simulations with bots to see how they can better do that. Not only are they doing that, but have been experimenting with creating bots that are super close to the skill level, like custom bots to the person, right? So they'll have a person join a room which could be completely full of bots. This person has no idea. They're designed to emulate human people, human players, even right down to their profile, and they will purposely make them a bit better. So the competition level is still there. This is Call of Duty, everyone, by the way. The competition level's still there, but this bot that you might be against, they'll have a few better extra weapons than you. They'll have a few better this and that and the other that are purchase only, that are DLC only, just to entice you. Hey, you could probably beat this guy if you picked up this weapon. You probably killed them once you picked up their weapon and got to see how it is, but you could probably be this good if you just paid for
If you
this
bought
stuff.
that.
Yeah, so they're running
Oh my
simulations against
god.
people at all times, allegedly. According to this, they have patents about this that I reported on. And then when you're not playing, if you're a PC player, they can probably do it on Xbox and PlayStation as well, but that wasn't in there. When they're not playing, people I guess they're agreeing to let Activision use their computing power to run these simulations so that they don't have to use like
Wow.
their own servers essentially.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what? I've heard that same thing before, but people were farming crypto. This
Mm.
happened back in the day in Counter Strike. So in Counter Strike, you have an ace. You have to run an anti cheat to play in the higher leagues. The
Mhm.
higher, like for the better players, you have to run an anti cheat, and those anti cheats are made by third parties. And this happened years ago, years and years and years ago. The anti cheat was caught using people's computing power to farm Bitcoin. This
Hmm.
was in like 20, I don't even know, this was like 2013 or 14, like years and years and years ago. So, but that's crazy.
Where was that based out of?
Well, it was an anti. They were called ESEA, and it was all in NA. It was all in North America. I don't
I
exactly
see.
know, but they got caught doing it, and
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know. It
just
was
it's
years ago, man.
basically like, in my opinion, my non-legal opinion, of course. It's like you're scamming children basically, because you got to imagine the amount, especially Call of Duty, very young
Yeah,
audience, and you're basically trying to
get
digitally
them to buy it.
manipulate them to buy things and use mom and dad's
Jesus.
credit cards. Yeah, I'll send that to you later. It's actually really
Yeah, do it.
crazy. Um, do you think that this stuff? What do you think? And I know you probably haven't thought about it yet until I literally brought it up right now. Do you think that there should be more regulation around this stuff? And if so, like in your experience, how can people stop this from happening? Because we all see when we turn on the games, it says like anti-cheat software in use, whatever that one's called.
Yeah.
Is there a real way, or is somebody always a step or 10 ahead of it?
Well, nowadays, man, it feels like games are. I mean, I guess it had to be like this. Games are now going for the microtransactions
Mm-hmm.
instead of the buying the game, right? Except Call of Duty, who just didn't care. But now you have people who are being forced to buy the microtransaction, and especially in Call of Duty. You know what? I never really played I used to play Call of Duty back in the day. I got sick of how it's just so recycled content,
Oh
game
yes.
after game after game. I just got sick of it, man. I just got sick of it. I don't like it, so I'm not really too involved in that. I'm not really sure exactly how the skins work. So you have to buy skins in that game, and the skins are actually better. It's not just cosmetic
Hmm.
in Call of Duty. No, I'm asking you.
Oh,
Do
I
you know?
don't know. I haven't played it since not World of War, but like uh Black Ops like 2 probably or 1. So I haven't played in at least a
Yeah.
decade
So
because I hated it.
yeah. So I don't. I guess it would depend if they're making it where you have to buy the skins and the skins are actually better and make you at a competitive advantage in the game. I mean, I feel like that's ridiculous.
I
Like
think
if you're
it's
gonna
actual weapons as well that
like
you have
actual
access.
better. Oh
Yeah,
wow. Okay. Oh wow.
probably,
Okay. Well,
but
see. I mean, that's
probably there's
ridiculous.
skins that gives you a bit of an advantage. But either way, it's stuff that you have to buy to unlock that will make you
You
better.
have to
So it's
buy them,
probably a little
make you
bit
better,
more.
and put you at a more competitive advantage.
Yeah,
See, now that's just crazy.
and
That's crazy. If
mhm.
that's true, I think that's crazy. That's unbelievable.
And the thing about the competitiveness of it is they will put you in. And I had this problem a long time ago. I don't know if you ever played the NHL games where they want you to play more, so they'll make it more competitive, and they'll just like, oh, we're gonna. That's been proven too. That was proven long before my research that they're,
Yeah.
they'll extend like the spawn invincibility for somebody who's doing worse, or you'll get if you're doing too
Yes.
well, you'll be spawned in a place where you'll be easily shot. So all this sort of stuff that they've been caught doing,
Yeah.
they're not stopping. Like they have literally like dozens of patents that specifically say stuff like a program that can make a player's profile indiscernible from a human's profile, and because when they've tried to do it manually, people can still tell, or when they've tried to
Mhm.
do it like using their other methods, people can still tell based on what's written in the profile. So they're like hard at work at this. They didn't respond to the
Yeah.
questions. What a surprise that I had for
Yeah.
this, but this is the sort of thing people deal with. So
Yeah. I remember back in the day when I mean, I haven't talked or really thought about this in a long time, but back in the day when I was playing Valorant, um, oh man, what was it called? Oh, whatever. I'll just explain. I don't remember what it was called. But what they do is they specifically set up your lobbies. So you're in a 5v5. They specifically set up your lobbies with a skill level that will keep you playing more.
exactly,
So
yeah.
exactly. And I forget what it was called, but this was I don't I'm gonna it was hearsay, so I don't know if this was proven.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm fairly certain that this is a real thing. But yeah, I remember people were talking about it. There were some articles about it back in the day when I played Valorant, and I mean, I
Yeah,
think
I'm
it's
gonna try
I
to
mean,
look it up here.
yeah. Let's see. This was for Valorant. Oh man, I forget what it was called. Valorant MMR. Skill difference. Oh, what was it called? It was called a specific. And there was a big article on it, and it was popular. I remember people coming to my stream and talking about it. So there must have been something. There was like there was people talking about it. It gained a little bit of traction. Oh, I don't remember what it was called, man. Oh, it was years ago.
So one of them was called Systems and Methods for Driving Microtransactions in Multiplayer Video Games. That was one of Activision's patents,
Okay.
and it said, "Oh, I'm getting paywalled on my own article." So this is what they have to. This is what they do. They file these patents specifically designed to get people to play more. And if you want to
To
look it
play more
up,
and buy more.
yeah, if you want to look it up and you want to, really quickly pay for it through the website, Jason, and make it visible to you.
Well,
Activision
I
has
paid for it, but I don't have my wallet.
exactly. You'll
So you.
it's an escrow. Activision is frightening programs meant to mimic humans.
No, but man, like especially with AI now too, like this is man, you're not just hopping into a game anymore. You're hopping into a psychological almost it's not just a game nowadays. They're tricking you into playing more now. It's actually crazy, dude. It's
You
crazy.
might call it a info war.
Yeah, and now with cheats too, with hacks, man, like there's AI hacks, and now there's apparently going to be AI anti-cheats, and so I come from like I don't know if you know my background, but I was a pro CS:GO player. I was
Yeah,
a
I
pro
did read
player.
that.
So I was like I have been playing at the top level of FPS shooters since I was like 12 years old. So
Wow.
as far as anti cheats and all of this stuff, like it's pretty relevant to my stream and my content and all this.
Okay, was this what you were talking about? So I've signed into my paid Blaze News account. Activision in 2020, players in multiple forums complained that Activision was changing player attributes in a real time based on their skill level to make individual interactions with other players more competitive. For example, if a better player interacted with a lesser skilled player, the better player's accuracy, hitbox, aim assist, player health, and damage dealt would be altered to give the lesser skilled player a better chance. So that's one of them.
God,
I'll bring this up right now. Here we go.
I'll be able to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, in 2025, I just want to show some of these patents. Oh yeah, so this is another scary thing. Let me blow it up here. An image in the patent describes a video game streamer's face, so that's you, where the expressions, reactions, and movements are tracked in real time. Simply put, images of a user's face are constantly taken to be able to create a 3D model of his face and track his expressions in relation to events that are happening in the game. In the patent that pushed microtransactions, player satisfaction is mentioned as a factor by which Activision determines the gamer is enjoying his or her experience. This player engagement factor is calculated in part by a player's level of focus, which is determined, according to the patent, from camera peripherals, whether greater engagement may indicate greater satisfaction. Additionally, biometric factors are measured, such as facial expressions, pulse, body language, sweat, etc. We asked Activision about this. They did not respond. So basically, Jason, they're allegedly scanning your face to see how happy you are.
They're watching us.
To see how happy you are when certain things happen. Yes.
Oh my God. That is crazy.
Here's the thing that I was talking about.
And what are they using this for? They're using this for to know what is making players happy.
Yes, so that they can keep
feeding that. So say they pick up a skin that makes you happy. They're like, okay, they like this skin. Let's make more of this skin so they buy more. That's what's happening.
Let's put you up against a guy who has this so you can see how great it is. Another patent from Activision that didn't garner media attention. Sign up for blazenews.com, everybody, to read it all. System and method for transparently styling non-player characters in multiplayer games. The patent specifically describes styling NPCs so that it is difficult to distinguish between human players and computer-controlled NPCs. The NPCs may be styled to resemble humans in both their player profiles and their gameplay actions in such a way that players, quote, may not recognize NPCs as non-human computer-controlled characters. This would be coupled with limiting the information from player profiles to make it harder to discern if a user is a human or a computer. So they'll purposely make some of their profile not available so you can't tell that they're computers. In order to tailor a favorable experience, they would implement NPCs that appear to be human while hiding profile information. And then matchmaking. Let's see. Bases. Here's the part. Yeah, see, I even went down to the patent number. Excellent research by me from last year. Excellent. So using your PC against...
using your PC the paywall. It's worth the paywall.
Thank you. I got your endorsement. Another patent is methods and systems for continuing to execute a simulation after processing resources go offline. So this is what I was saying. This patent outlines how to use an end-user device can be used to participate in a simulated NPC gameplay session. Activision patented a system that identifies end-user devices that are still connected to its system but are idle or in standby state and uses the customer's computer to participate in a simulation. An end-user device may be available when it has sufficient computing capacity, such as when it's idle or standby. The patent says. As such, the system may leverage spare computing capacity of networked end-user devices to execute NPCs at networked end-user devices during a simulation. So they're using your computer to run NPC simulations while you're not playing.
Oh my god! And then they put these NPCs against other players.
Yes.
Near the same skill level, so that if they,
Yes.
oh my god, bro.
See if there's anything else I haven't mentioned.
You know, I remember back in the day they talked about how some streamers were using a VPN to join a Call of Duty lobby, and all of the players that they were playing against were bots, so that the
Yeah.
streamer could look really good.
Yeah, I
Like,
remember that.
you remember that? And
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I mean, I wasn't in the Call of Duty scene, so I didn't really know exactly how it worked. But it just seems crazy.
So this might be what you were talking about from 2017, System and Method for Driving Microtransactions. And this is right from the patent, which I can, just so everybody knows that we're talking about real stuff here. These are Google patents that we're referring to. So they're not, it's right there. You can see United States, Activision, it's still active. Activision Publishing Incorporation's right here. So these are real things. And they're still active. A system and method is provided that drives microtransactions in multiplayer video games. The system may include a microtransaction to arrange matches to influence game-related purchases. For instance, the system may match a more experienced marquee player with a junior player to encourage the junior player to make game-related purchases of items possessed and used by the marquee player. A junior player may wish to emulate the marquee player by obtaining weapons or other items the marquee player may use.
Wow.
So that is some fun stuff.
That is crazy, man. Bro, you're not just playing games anymore. Nowadays you're hopping into a psychological
Yeah.
MMR system that is somehow tricking you into keep playing and buying their microtransactions.